white, and bluegrass.
Big part of the debate over Amendment 2 is about the funding. So let's take a look at the financial side of education here in Kentucky. Jason, let's start with you here in this segment. You talked a little bit just before the break about what we're seeing in Florida in terms of the spending there. Kentucky has a large rainy day fund, but your side has also pointed to the decrease in income taxes potentially affecting our ability to afford whatever the future plan may be it vouchers, education savings account, scholarship tax credits, charter schools. What can you say about that plan, and if there should already be a plan?
Yeah, there should already be a plan, and the fact that there isn't one tells you a lot. I mean, because whatever they're going to do is likely to be controversial. That's what's happened in these other states. We've seen 12 states in the last 2 years expand to what are called universal private school vouchers. They're available to anybody, no matter how wealthy. And on average, those vouchers, 70% on average, are going to families already in private school. Those families in Kentucky, you look, they make $52,000 a year more in their household than the average public school family. So if we were to pass this amendment, the legislature would have the full authority to spend whatever they want to spend. It's a blank check on shifting dollars away from the public school system to private schools, most of which, again, will go to families already attending. We can't afford that. We've already been cutting funding for public schools for nearly 20 years now. Ever since the Great Recession, there has been an ongoing stream of cuts. We're falling behind. We have a teacher shortage. We have a bus driver shortage. The average teacher pay is now 14% less than it was in 2008 because of those budget cuts. We can't afford that. There's rainy day money now. It's not going to be there long. It's because of the pandemic stimulus. We're going to be crunched, even if we don't do the private school vouchers. But if you add that onto it, if Amendment 2 were to pass, it's going to hurt our public schools, especially our rural areas, especially our low-income kids and those with special needs.
Jim, you see things differently.
Well, there's nothing in this amendment that changes the way that our current K-12 system is funded. The Constitution of Kentucky still requires our legislators to fund K-12, and they cannot use that fund to fund a school choice program. What they can do is create a separate fund for that, and that's probably that's what they would have to do if they want to create a school choice program. We've seen this in other states. A thing I'd point out about the average voucher across the country, or scholarship, the average financial tool is about $7,500. When we look at Kentucky and what we're spending statewide per pupil, it's over $20,000. We've increased funding in our state for public school students. Many of those are wealthy and actually being subsidized by the public system. So the fact, though, is that in Arizona, for example, they've expanded their school choice program. They have 3 different programs that are universal choice. And this year, almost 50% of the kids who took advantage of that were from public school last year, and the other 50% were already in private school. But just because somebody was in private school and gets a voucher doesn't mean they're wealthy, doesn't mean they're not sacrificing greatly for the education of their children. We see that across Kentucky, where there are families sacrificing tremendously in order to provide their children an education that best fits their need. So nothing in this amendment would allow the legislature to take money away from K-12 funding. They would have to create some dollars on top of that. And I think this is an important enough issue. I think we all could agree that education is important enough that we do everything we can to provide the best education that fits each child. You know, one size doesn't fit all. Our public schools do a good job with a lot of kids, but there are kids who need something different.
Could I respond to that?
Very quickly.
There is no special fund that they could pull from. It's all from the general fund.
I didn't say that.
And what the amendment does is it overturns, it suspends 7 sections of the Constitution, which is what was used to require that we fund in a system of common schools. So unless somebody's going to raise taxes, which no one has proposed to do, the money is going to come out of our public schools. We're going to have less to provide to 90% of children, and that system is open to 100% of children. We're going to have less there, and it's going to go to families who already are better off.
Every charter school law in the country is open to all students. No charter school law allows charter schools not to accept first come, first serve. The truth is, at many charter schools across the country, there are many more parents wanting their children in those public schools of choice than there are seats available. There's a reason why parents want this. They know they need a better education for their children, and they want some options. Those 7 sections of the Constitution that it says notwithstanding, That simply says that the courts can't use any of those sections to undo what the voters do with this amendment. That's all that means. And that's a normal occurrence in Frankfurt. That happens all the time.
All right, guys, we're going to have to leave it right here. We get one more segment right after this to continue duking it out. We'll have much more right after this.